Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Camp Hustle One here, back with another video. Welcome back, welcome back. It's good to see all you guys. Let's jump into it. Hello, guys. Back again, back with another one. Kavos, welcome to the stream. How are you doing, sir? Yeah, did you guys like that little intro song? I liked it too. Shout out to Matt Glocky. That's the one that did that. He did a mashup of Incubus singing System of a Down Aerials. I thought that was really nice to open up. It's only for the live stream crowd, because once this video gets uploaded to YouTube, I'm gonna have to cut that part out. So I hope you guys enjoyed that one. But yeah, so this is definitely going to be a chill stream today. I was actually talking to Coke Benny about this a couple days ago. I was like, you know what? I don't know if I have anything to talk about this week. A lot of it is just kind of the same, you know? And I'm kind of worried, because usually by like a day or two before the actual stream, like I usually have something to talk about. And it wasn't until my last 15 minutes of work that I came across a YouTube video, and it was from our friend Sonic Mindscape. And yeah, so after I saw it, I was like, you know what? This guy is baiting me again to talk about this topic. And before I say any more, let's just go to it. So and then, you know, after we cover this, I think I have like maybe one or two things to talk about, and then there is something I did want to do, which is basically. Oh wait, hold on. Kava says, "What cover was that?" So that was Aerials. The song is called Aerials, and it was by System of a Down, but it was sung in the style of Incubus. And if you look up the creator, his name is Mac Glocky. It's MacGlocky. I think that's his name. Actually, yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, man, he has a bunch of mashup videos. That's like his whole channel. It's pretty awesome. But yeah, let's go ahead and go to the video. Yeah, so the name of this video is called "Tipping is Getting Out of Hand." Now, I know you guys probably remember this topic that me and Sonic, we had a little debate that spanned 2 videos, and I thought we made a lot of progress, actually. I thought we made some progress. I even brought in Missy, who has experience in the restaurant industry, to speak on the whole topic of tipping. And it looks that Sonic has possibly regressed back into his old ways, and in a way of saying, like, you know, maybe he's not like so much of a bad tipper. He just does not want to go into restaurants anymore. He's completely like X'd it out completely. And I don't know if that was the right approach, because I thought we were making some progress where he was at least being more attuned to the situation of whenever he goes out to these tipping establishments, that, you know, if he wants to enjoy the benefits of being in an environment where he's going to be taken care of, that he needs to take care of other people as well. He needs to reciprocate that. But it seems after watching this video, he has regressed a little bit. So let's just go through it, and I won't talk anymore. Let's just see what he has to say.
We're going to be talking about one of the most dangerous topics in the entire world. No, I'm not talking about weapons of mass destruction. I'm talking about tipping culture. That's right. Tipping culture has made it back on the online discussion board, and it's mainly due to this video.
Hey, bro, what do you want, bro?
Now, this isn't a good look for my Asian brethren. I did catch this video, and I didn't really think too much of it. I just thought that, yeah, it gets a little frustrating being in this industry of taking care of people and serving them food, and to not be tipped, you know, especially on a carryout order, because I think that's what this was. I think it was a carryout order. To not be tipped on that, or maybe he dined in. I don't know. Maybe he dined in and didn't take his food out. I don't know. I typically understand if you don't want to tip on carryout. I can kind of forgive you for that. But when you go like sit down and eat and stuff like that, and I believe this customer was a regular of this establishment, and he just regularly doesn't tip. And I can kind of understand like the owner and stuff, but I don't think the owner should have done what he did, because I think he got a little bit of backlash doing it this way.
What do you want? I paid for my food.
Now, at first glance, without any context, you would assume that the cameraman perhaps stole something from the restaurant, or perhaps
No, I didn't think he stole something. I think he just didn't tip. I'm just making a little bit of joke, but I think that this whole thing about maybe he stole something, no, I think maybe he stole their time, you know? Maybe the owner thought that a customer could have, possibly sat there and, paid them for their services and stuff, maybe not just pay for the food, because yeah, you cover the food costs, that's fine. But when you have the staff that you got to take care of and everything, I explained to Sonic that the tip typically goes to cover that. They'll still get paid like an hourly wage, but it's not a livable wage.
perhaps left without paying. However, that's not the case. As a matter of fact, he did pay his food. However, after he left the restaurant owner, who I believe is the owner, he came out and protested the idea of leaving without tipping for the service.
I paid for my food. I handed you $20. You can't charge me more than what the menu say. So what are you talking about? Bro, I'm not legally required to give you a tip. Get the back. Get back. Get back.
Okay, so the guy says, his shirt says table. What does that say? Can't read that. Oh, table to sticks ramen. Okay, so that's what it was. It was ramen.
Get back. Get back, bro. Huh? I'm telling you to get back.
Yelling
I'm
at
not
me?
trying to fuck with you, bro. Bro, I'm not trying to fuck with you. Bro, I'm trying to fuck
Goddamn
with you.
yelling at me?
I'm not trying to fuck with you,
You
bro.
shut your goddamn mouth, man.
Any
Yeah, that probably was a bad idea to be wearing the shirt of the restaurant that you work at, because you're going to get people that are going to take up for this guy. Whether he was in the right or in the wrong, people will be like, yo, that was dumb, because now you're going to get a wave of backlash.
louder and he would have powered up into a Super Saiyan. I understand that he's upset because the cameraman was yelling at him, but this is the reason why I despise tipping culture, because this is what tipping does to a person. They get really defensive, they get offensive, offensive, when they attack, that's what I meant. And you partake in actions such as this.
I paid
I'll
for my
smack
food.
the shit out of
Bro,
you,
I paid
punk
for my
ass,
food.
man.
I paid for my food, bro.
Piece of shit.
I paid for my food.
How the you didn't think
Bro,
you make money?
I paid for
piece
my
of shit,
food.
son?
I
How
paid
am
for my
staff supposed to make
I
money,
paid
huh?
for, so raise your price, bro.
Huh?
Bro, we can solve this.
Okay, so everybody always says that. Raise your price. But look, if we raise our price, then you're not going to come in because it's going to be too expensive. You're going to choose something else. So that's not a solution. Okay. How about you just buy some ramen at the grocery store and stay your ass home so that the seat that you took up in the restaurant can be taken up by someone who actually knows how to play ball.
Just chill, bro.
Punk ass,
We
man.
could solve this
police
chill,
is right
bro.
there, bro.
We could solve this chill, bro.
Needless to say, actually, hang on. It's just that the overexposure was out of control, but it's finally under control. But this is what tipping culture invokes. You see, when you're dependent on tipping culture, you have to expect a tip, and then you have to rely that the person will provide a tip. Otherwise, if they don't, then your expenses are at risk. I know that this doesn't just apply for restaurant owners or waiters or waitresses. This also applies to Uber drivers and people who deliver food. Like, for instance, there's a guy who delivers food and he gets upset when they don't tip him.
Hi, it's saying 0 for the tip. Was there a cash tip? Loser.
Dang, hey, my boy got
I thought he was going to step on the food. Oh, man. But see, here's the thing. I know that I even said this in his video. I commented on his video. I said that there are some bad actors out there. There's some people that should not be in the service industry. These are people that have this sense of entitlement that kind of give us all a bad name. And I think, those people don't deserve tips. Those people need to be pushed out of the industry so they can, go find another avenue to make money. It's just not everybody's cut out to serve people. Some people are better being their own bosses. Some people are better, doing something that's not tip dependent. So I think I think that's literally what it is. You got to look at it from a case by case thing. You can't say, oh, I want to change the whole system because of this stuff that's evidence online. I'm like, no, these are individual situations that are kind of extreme, and they're both not right. The owner, chasing the customer out, that wasn't the right thing to do. This Uber Eats driver, losing his temper because he's not getting a tip off of every order, that's not right to do either.
Got clicked on. Hey, listen, imagine if that woman responded to that question with, listen, I don't have a cash tip, but I do have a tip. Don't expect a tip. Dang. Hey, I would have respected that one. I would have walked away thinking, you know what, man, she tips well. But look how
It's cold-blooded, Sonic. Cold-blooded. I mean, if she had said, here's a tip, learn to type, or here's a tip, stay in school, something, that would have been just as cold too.
unbelievably aggressive they get. And it's all because of tips. And this is why I've had a problem with tips for a long time now. I personally don't like the idea of tipping.
The reason why you don't, and you know what? We figured this out. We figured out why he doesn't like the whole idea of tipping, is because he's never had to do it for himself. He's never had to work in that type of industry where he's dependent on tips. So this is just this whole mindset that he has. It's almost like I tried for two videos that, that really weren't that popular on my channel, but some people watched it and maybe they got some insight into it. But I thought we made a breakthrough, at least with Sonic. He had a little bit more of an understanding of, just everything, the whole balancing act of taking care of somebody in a restaurant. And there are people that kind of go above and beyond, and those are the ones that you want to take care of. I'm not saying everybody deserves a tip. There are people out there that are not good at doing their job, and their tip needs to reflect that. So that's all I really got to say.
That's why I don't go to restaurants. I don't order Uber. I don't do any of that because I know that people are expecting it, and it also makes people particularly aggressive.
Now, this whole thing, like, I'm going to, completely X out restaurants, I'm going to completely, not order food or anymore like that. That's a little extreme. I mean, you could just change your behavior. You can still partake in these types of activity, but if he wants to do that, that's his choice. If he wants to just completely not go to restaurants anymore and just, cook at home or whatever, that's fine too. But I said in the comment of this video, hold on, let me show you guys, because I thought it was I was being funny, because I'm rarely serious about anything here. But yeah, let me see if I can zoom this in for y'all. Okay, so I said, I appreciate the shout out, but bro, I thought we talked about this. You said you were more receptive to what servers have to go through in order to provide exceptional service. Are there a few bad actors in those industries that should pursue other avenues? Absolutely. One person or one tipping freakout doesn't mean the entire tipping system needs to be changed. If you don't want to go to restaurants anymore, then that's your choice. But you have to take it all the way. Don't use Uber. Clean your hotel room before you leave. Don't travel to Vegas and solicit any ladies of the evening. And don't put any money in the collection plate at church. I was joking there. I mean, don't tip the church, okay? They don't pay taxes. And then he said, there is no all the way. It's complex and multivariable. If I go to a restaurant and I'm not going to tip unless it's earned. The fact that the restaurant owner cannot come up with a solution to their expenses is beyond my problems. And that still hasn't changed. I'm more sympathetic now towards waiters and waitresses. Doesn't mean I'm going to leave a tip. See, you can say that you're more sympathetic, but your actions say otherwise. Because you're like, I'm not changing my behavior. I just understand their situation better. Bro, we live in a world where it's complex. And unfortunately, we live in a country where if we're talking about tips, then it has to be earned. We're not obligated to tip, brother. It's our choice. I stand on that. I may tip a little bit more now, but I won't change my mind on how terrible the system is. So I was like, oh, okay. All right. So unfortunately, it seems that we have kind of taken a step back a little bit. But let's watch the rest of the video because I want to see what else he goes into.
I remember we ordered Uber one time, and again, bro, like this is all okay. We've ordered Uber many times, probably more than like 100, 200 times. And it's only ever happened to us twice where the man or woman comes up to us and gets upset because we don't leave a tip, or we do leave a tip, but it's a tip that they didn't expect. And in this case, I totally understand. You know, they're utilizing their resources to provide you a service. But what I don't like is that they expect this tip. And to me, I'm thinking to myself, you understand going into the service, like a delivery driver or perhaps driving folks around, you understand that you're going to be using your own car, your own vehicle. Why is it that these people expect that tip? And here's the thing, okay?
Wait. See, that these two things that he's talking about the car, the person providing their own vehicle to provide the service, and the whole expecting a tip. I don't know if those two things are mutually connected. Okay, so the fact is, yes, this guy is using his car, whether it's to deliver food or to drive people around and stuff. People, they have the option. Yes, they have the option to tip or not. I'm not saying people should always tip. I think if your food takes a long time, or your food is cold, or your food is tampered with, or whatever, yeah, don't leave a tip. But I also think that if you can't afford it, you know, then you shouldn't be doing it. That's just all it is. It's simple as that. I know it sounds harsh when people are like, well, yeah, but I need to be able to eat. I'm like, well, then just go to the grocery store. You know, it's like you don't have to partake in these type of things because it's for people that can afford to tip. That's just what it is, man.
I want to go ahead and make this absolutely clear, okay? Tipping, I think, is absolutely important if you work for a position or trade that benefits you to accept those tips. Like, for instance, if you're a bartender and someone's giving you money, of course you want to go and you want to serve that person, because I think it makes absolutely logical sense to serve the person who's giving you money. I mean, think about it, man. You're at a bar, you're bartending, right? And you have two people. One of them is tipping you, the other one is just patiently waiting for you. Are you really going to tell this person, you know what, man, money so yesterday, bro. I'm allergic to it. I'm going to serve the guy who's not going to give me anything, but instead...
You don't know if they're going to not give you anything. That's the thing, though. You need to treat everybody the same. And I think we went over this. I said, if you give the same level of service to everybody, yeah, you're going to get variable results, okay? You might get good tips all around. You might get somebody who tips. You might get somebody who doesn't. But the thing is, you remain consistent. So this whole like sizing people up before you before you serve them is not a real thing. That is an outside perspective that Sonic has, that he has absolutely zero grasp about, because he hasn't actually done it himself. So he's literally just talking about this without actual any experience backing it up.
I have to provide the standard service. Fuck no. Hell no, dude. You give me that guy who's tipping me any day and I'll continue to serve you. By the way,
yeah, but okay, so someone tips you good one day, they could tip you bad the next day because, I don't know, maybe something was off and it maybe had nothing to do with you. You know, that's another factor you need to consider. Sometimes people are up and sometimes people are down, but they still want to go to their places that, you know, everybody knows their name. So, you know, we are familiar creatures that like to go in the same paths to do things that, you know, we like doing. And, you know, maybe the deal fell through. Maybe he was just like, yeah, maybe I'm not up like I was last week, you know, but I still want to come through and get my drink or whatever. He might not be able to leave you that 20% tip. He might be able to leave you only like 10%. It's not because it had anything to do with you. So,
I want to go ahead and give a shout out to Fire X Bomber.
All right, let's read this. I work at a bar, and I 100% agree that we use tips as leverage. If there is 10 people at the bar, one is not tipping, I guess who we will always get to last. It's all about making money. If you aren't tipping, you are the least of our worries. Need to charge your phone for an emergency call? Too bad. You should have tipped instead of writing 0. It really sucks, and I wish it wasn't that way, but every time there is a commission tip involved, you have the incentive to help out your money makers. I would be doing a disservice to the other bartenders if I took the time to chat with a 0% tipper, $0 tipper, when I could be taking care of a VIP that always tips $10 per drink. And you know what? As a bartender, because I've bartended before, you know, you do establish a clientele. You know, you do build up a group of regulars that come in that regularly want to have your service. And yeah, say it's a Saturday night or a Friday night, you know, and you have like 8 of your regulars there. Maybe you got like 2 or 3 randoms that are there too. And usually when people don't want to start a tab, they just want to settle out immediately. They'll pay for their drink right away. And maybe if it's like a beer or something like that, maybe they give you exact. They give you exact change, and then that's it. And then the person comes back, they get another beer, exact change. So it's just like, yeah, I mean, you start to pick up on, whether someone is going to take care of you or not. So that's kind of what this guy is saying, is like, look, you can't not take care of me and expect me to take care of you if all night you've been doing the bare minimum, which is like not tipping. You just want something from me, and then you want me to go above and beyond and charge your phone or something like that. Like, no, that's not happening, So you got to give. It's a give relationship, not give. I mean, give and take. But some people are just like take, and that's why they end up in these positions.
For providing that idea for me. He's the one who exposed me to that idea, because he used to work as a bartender, and he let me know in the comment section that this was a common theme amongst bartenders. Even gig workers who work gig apps such as Instacart, Uber Eats, Uber Drive, they're going to prioritize the folks who tip them, and that's fine. And this is from a gig worker, by the way.
All right, let's read this one. As someone who works for tips in the gig economy, no one is entitled to your money. Tipping culture is toxic because some service industry workers do have that sense of entitlement to pay to other people's money, especially in the gig economy. I will say this: if there is a tip, my priority goes to the person who tips the most, plain and simple. I won't take a job that I know won't be profitable in. I think the companies should be paying their workers a livable wage. Well, that is a common thought process, and this whole thing about if there's a tip, my priority goes to the person who tips most. You can't really decide who that is until after the service is done, so it's like, and it's like I said before, man, somebody could be down the first time you meet them, and then the next time you see them, they're up. And maybe they came into a lot of money, and now they want to come back and pay it forward. But that's why you have to like maintain the same type of attitude towards everybody. There's none of this like sizing people up and knowing that they're not going to tip. So you're going to give them shitty service. Yeah, I mean, you deserve it if you give them shitty service. So it's like, you just kind of have to, as a server, you got to go in there with kind of the mindset that, no, I'm going to treat everybody the same. I'm not going to go in with preconceived notions, because guess what? You come in with like a negative attitude, thinking that, this person owes you whatever. Yeah, it's like you're gonna get a rude awakening that that's not how the world works, man. You got to come in, have a little bit of grace, and do your job, be on the ball, and you'll be good.
As someone who works for tips in the gig economy, no one is entitled to your money. Tipping culture is toxic because some service industry workers do have the sense of entitlement to other people's money, especially in the gig economy. El Conejito, who is a friend of the show, he works these gig economies, and he goes into this without the expectation of a tip. I believe that is a much healthier way of working in this condition, rather than going into this and holding someone hostage.
Could you imagine working a job that is, tip dependent, and you go in and you're like say you're a pizza delivery driver and you're getting paid minimum wage, and you're not getting any tips. You're still going in with then you will go in with the perception that I'm not going to, worry about tips, whatever, because it's not going to happen. Say you have like 20 deliveries, like not even exaggerate. Maybe it's like game day or something. Everybody's ordering pizza. You get 0 tip on every order that you do. And you're done after about 5 hours, because maybe, it's a short day or something like that. So you're getting what, $5 an hour, maybe a little bit more, whatever. So yeah, you're walking, with $25 for that whole day. That's it. Doesn't seem like a good, a good purpose or of your time, or a sense of your time. It seems like, yeah, maybe that's not the industry for you, if nobody's tipping you. But say like, you get like $5 tips for every order. Then, you end up making $50 for 5 hours. That's $10 an hour. It's a little bit better. It's not great, but, especially in today's time. But it's better than half, is what I'm saying. So, I mean, and you know, as a guy that used to deliver pizzas, I used to make great tips. But the way to do that is to be personable, you know, and to be, you know, you definitely got to be fast, but you also got to be personable. And, you know, you got to come approach with a smile, service with a smile, dude. It's so simple. And I think that's kind of um, another point that I probably forgot to make on our little debate is that, you know, there's a lot of people that do their jobs and they don't smile, man. They just go through the motions of doing the job, and their performance reflects it. You know, when you have somebody that is literally just working and going through the motions, it's like they're doing just enough so that they don't get fired. And that's the worst type of, you know, person to deal with on the customer side, and when you're working alongside them. You know, it's like it brings the whole morale down. And I think the last thing a customer, you know, who probably is not having that bad of a day, they're coming in, they just want to have, you know, some good food, maybe some good service, and then go on about their day. I don't think they don't want to be dragged down by whatever's going on with you. So I think if you can be like this little, you know, this little beacon of light, you know, when they come in, you know, service with a smile, and you know, they're like, you know what? I appreciate that person, you know. Maybe they're not making that much money, whatever, doing what they're doing, but at least they take pride in their work, you know, and that's something to be proud of. And yeah, so people will reward you for something like that.
By the way, that is absolutely a real thing. There was a lady who held a passenger hostage because she would not tip this lady.
This is fucked up. We're about to see this Uber driver, or maybe she's a Lyft driver. She's got like a trashy car. You can kind of already see it. She's got like Coke cans and soda and stuff like that, trash here. She's holding this person hostage. Let's listen.
You just open the door, please.
No, tips please.
No, I don't want to tip you. Can you just open
Why?
the door?
No, this is a rule here in this country. You have to give me the tips.
No, it's not. I've never given any other Uber driver a tip. Look, I need to get out.
I don't care. I need tips because I give you that service. I drive from a long distance.
Well, it's not
Yeah,
really
I
been
need
the
to-
best service. This car is a mess.
If you have
And you know what? I've had this experience happen. Not been locked in an Uber or whatever, but like I've been in an Uber where the car was a mess. Like it literally, there was trash everywhere, and it was a female driving. So it's just like this whole thing about like females being like really like clean cars and stuff like that's not true for everybody. You know, it was bad. But yeah, that whole holding somebody hostage, you should never do that. Never do that.
brain cells that are currently employed in your occipital lobe, then you can clearly see that this woman activated the chow lock to ensure that the passenger left a tip. But to finish El Conejito's comment, I will say this: if there's a tip, my priorities go to the person who tips the most, plain and simple. I won't take a job that I know won't be profitable. Now, I'm not saying that everybody has to live up to this standard, but I believe that this is somebody who has a healthy perspective and a responsibility when it comes to their line of work. They know that not every single job is going to be profitable. It's just about which ones you decide to manage and which ones you decide to take on. Unfortunately, when it comes to waiters and waitresses, that one's a little more complex, and I sympathize a little more with them because they can't just leave the job. They can't manage who they're gonna get. So I don't really have a perspective on that particular side of tipping.
But in the restaurants, employees, owners, they have the right to refuse service. So that Asian guy, which I looked more into it, whatever, he got like a wave of backlash because the video got posted, went viral, and people started going to the store and stuff and starting like, you know, leaving bad reviews and everything. And yeah, I think he ended up on the news and he like apologized for it. We'll look into it. But I think that what the Asian guy should have done, the Asian owner that chased that guy out, he should have just, I mean, he knows that guy's a regular, so he can refuse service to him. That's all he has. That's all you have to do. It's his establishment. So that's all you would have to do.
All I know is that I don't go to restaurants because I don't want to sit and waste that person's time. Why would I take the position of someone who could potentially tip them when I know I most likely will not tip? Or if I do tip, it will be somewhere around $5. And here's the thing.
See, we have made a regression. We have made a serious regression because I remember when I had the conversation with Sonic, and he said, if you any tip that he was thinking that was a good tip was $5. He's like, it doesn't matter if the service was stellar or if it was mediocre, you're getting $5 no matter what. And I told him, I was like, well, and that's when I asked him, I was like, what would it take for you to go over $5? And I don't know if we ever got the answer to that question. It just seemed like he was like, well, I don't think there is anything. And it just seems like, I guess as time has gone on, he's just like, okay, he's regressed back to his old ways, unfortunately.
Look, and first off, I want to go ahead and address Camp for this, which, by the way, if you guys want to go ahead and follow Camp, he streams every single week. Great content creator, bro. He talks about current affairs. I highly recommend this.
I appreciate you, Sonic. Thank you very much.
Content creator. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. But I will address Camp here. Listen, bro, I have no shame in my game, all right? I am not afraid to tell people that I do not like to tip. And if anybody has a problem with the way I think, you can suck the fattest part of my penis.
Okay, so if you don't like to tip, what you're doing right now, as far as like taking yourself out of the situation and not going to restaurants, I think that's a very extreme way to handle it. But I'm glad that you are now freeing up that seat for someone who will actually tip the server, and they will get, you know, they'll actually take care of them. You know, I'm glad you're doing that at least. But I still think that you should take it all the way, man. Like this whole, like, if I'm not going to tip in restaurants, don't tip the bellhop when you go to the hotels to take your luggage. Just take your own luggage. Pay for escorts, whatever. You gotta tip them. You know, make sure you tip your escorts. The whole thing about, you know, tipping in church, whatever, that was a joke. Definitely, the collection plate comes around, at least put some money in it the first time. What else? Yeah, just if you don't want to tip, then don't go places where you have to tip. That's fine.
And look at you guys. And what part of it is fat, though? Just knowing the fact that a lot of these folks, it's not everyone, but a lot of these folks who do work in these kinds of services like gigs and stuff like that, I know for a fact that they're expecting that tip. And I don't know why, but that entitlement just really bugs me. It really does. So that is kind of my perspective on this situation. It really bugs me, the fact that this is what tipping is now. Before, it was just a tip of good service. Now it's an entitlement. It's a fee that you're charged every single time someone provides a service. Instead of calling it a tip, let's just call it what it is, a fee. That's what it is, a fee for service. Anyways, guys, I just kind of want to go ahead and just kind of dip my...
Well, I guess going off of the information we got from the video, the guy paid $20 for his food, and then the Asian guy chased him out. So 10% would have been $2. So if the guy left $4, I think the whole situation would have been completely avoided. And it's just a matter of leaving 20%. Leave 20%, and if people want to still get mad, be like, bitch, I left you 20%. What else do you fucking need? You know, 20% is a good tip across the board. Across the board, in all service industries, typically 20% is people are gonna be happy with that. So let's go real quick. Let me find that video. Oh, I think this is zoomed in a little too much. Hold on. See if I can. Okay. I think I'm at 120%. Okay, let's go. I think it was, I'm trying to think who did it. Maybe it was Penguin Zero. He did a video on this. I think it was tipping. Let me make sure. Yeah, this one, tipping freakout. So yeah, Penguin covered this, and I think he also covered some of the news coverage.
Interesting video.
He covered the news coverage of this one. So let's listen to it. I think it's let's see. Yeah, let's just listen to it
today that ties into a topic that I've discussed on streams passionately for years now: tipping. I know, all at once, a bunch of people just went from the relaxed position to the locked-in stance in their chairs because tipping is a hot-button topic. So what happened is some guys went to a restaurant, got some food, paid for it, and left, but the restaurant owner noticed they didn't leave a tip. So he starts following them around on the street like the adoring fan from Oblivion. He is literally just on their tail like it's a fucking trailing mission out of a video game. And he's like insulting them, even like threatening them, all about not leaving that tip.
Hey, bro, what do you want, bro? What do you want? I paid for my food. I paid for my food. What are you talking? Why are you following me down the fucking street? Nigga, you need to get the fuck back. You need to get back. Why are you following me? Why are you following me? What do you think? Why are you following me? What are you gonna do? Call 911. Call 911. If you need to settle something, you know who to call.
The guy filming is right. He didn't break any laws. He paid for his meal, and it's not a legal obligation to tip. So the owner on his ass here like a hemorrhoid, like it's, you know, the horror movie It Follows about him not tipping, is wrong here. Because, again, he didn't do anything wrong. So the guy filming is like, well, call the police then if you think they're...
Yes, and I agree. I agree that the guy didn't do anything wrong by not tipping. I think the owner is in the wrong because he chased the guy out. All he had to do was not serve him again. So if the guy is a regular, he could have just done the passive aggressive thing and just refuse service next time, and he won't have to deal with that again.
There's been some, you know, foul play, you know, some dirty barnacles from us. You can call the police about it. Obviously, the owner's not going to do that because there's not actually a case there.
Bro, I'm not trying to fuck with you. You piece of shit. Bro, I'm not trying to
goddamn
fuck with you.
fucking yelling at me.
I'm not trying to fuck with you,
You
bro.
shut your goddamn
I'm not trying
fucking
to fuck
mouth,
with you.
man.
Why are you following me down the street?
You piece of shit, little piece
Bro,
of shit, man.
I paid
I'll
for my
smack
food.
the shit out of
Bro,
you,
I paid for
punk
my
ass,
food.
man.
I paid for my food, bro.
Piece of shit.
I paid for my food.
How the fuck do you think
Bro,
they make
I
money?
paid
you
for
piece
my
of shit,
food.
man?
I
How
paid
my
for my
fucking
food.
staff supposed to make
Bro,
fucking
I
money,
paid-
huh?
So raise your price,
Huh?
Now, I'm cutting around this a little bit because, as I said, this goes on for a long time. It feels like he follows them for miles. It felt like in Game of Thrones when they were marching for like a whole season. It felt like we got all of that throughout the course of this video. And it also was getting very heated. It started sounding like a Xbox Live lobby after a Call of Duty round ended. It was getting pretty big and a lot of yelling. But when the owner said that, how is my staff supposed to make money? Brother, it felt like I got teabagged. I was stunned. I was seeing stars.
I can kind of tell you what he's going to say here. He's going to say that the owner should just pay them more, should just pay the staff more, instead of relying on the customer to do it, which is a common answer. And then the customer saying, "Oh, you should just raise your prices, and then everything will be covered." But I'm just like, then it means that people aren't going to come to the restaurant. You know, it's like the owner right now is not going to be taking a hit because as long as customers come in, pay for their food and everything like that's fine. But his staff, it's the staff that he's not going to be able to retain because they're not making any money.
You are the owner. What do you mean, how is your staff supposed to make money? Pay them a livable wage. Like, it's not the most difficult to grasp concept. You don't need to be astronaut Katy Perry to understand this rocket science here. Tipping is a way for businesses to save money on their employee salaries by paying them sub-minimum wage. It's a way for business owners to financially treat the faces of their employees like a fucking fleshlight by paying them less than what they are supposed to, because tipping is supposed to make up for the difference, at least in the majority of states. There are some states that I'm aware of where restaurant workers can get tips, but they are still paid the normal minimum wage. But in most of the states in America, you get sub-minimum wage when you are working in a service industry position that has tipping as part of it. Tipping,
Yeah, like 48 out of 50 states basically get paid the server minimum wage of $2.13, and the rest, they either get a livable wage or they get actual minimum wage, which is like $7 and some change. Some places they do $5 and some change. So
tipping is just so ingrained in the culture of America right now, and it has just become pervasive in every industry. I'm sure a lot of you watching this have seen like self-checkout kiosks that now have tips that pop up occasionally.
Don't tip those, okay? If you're doing all the work and then you get to that little kiosk, just understand that the people that program those kiosks, whatever, it's kind of like an umbrella thing that all of those machines, they all have that programmed into them, even in businesses that aren't tip appropriate, if somebody's working on your car and you get one of those little kiosk things, it's never going to be like, okay, I'm going to tip my mechanic. No, you just pay what you have to pay. Don't worry, they're getting their money, whatever. So the whole labor cost and stuff, you would think, oh, that's kind of like, that's kind of like their tips in a way. But yeah, any other place that you go into, whether it's like a retail store or something, and then they flip that iPad around and they're like, hey, do you want to tip 15, 18 or 20%? You don't have to tip those places. You don't, because those people are getting paid a livable wage. Just understand that the whole tipping program in that computer system is programmed into there automatically, and maybe there's a way to get it taken off, but they don't, because people will just tip. They just tip because they just do it. And then there's people that just don't do it because they're like, no, So you have that choice. You have that choice that you don't have to tip people.
There's tipping in every single thing, and it's been a big talking point for a few years, because now you are getting asked to tip on purely automated services. Like, who the fuck are you even tipping? Skynet? Like, it doesn't make sense. It is just outrageous. But when it comes to restaurants, the workers rely on tips because they're not getting paid a livable wage in the majority of states, and thus the onus is on the customer now to try and make up that difference so that restaurant worker can fucking survive. And it sucks. That shit is awful. Now, in my case, I do maximum tip on everything in the service industry.
Because Penguin Zero Charlie, he makes a lot of money, okay? So he can't afford to do that. He can afford to tip. I mean, I can afford to tip 20% everywhere I go. Sometimes if the service is immaculate, I'll do 100% tip. I've done it. But it's like, you got to do it on an individual basis. This whole like, oh, I max tip everywhere. You don't have to do that.
Because I'm in a position to do so. And I know that they need that money. So I'd like to try and help out best I can. And Lord help us, I'm ashamed to admit it, I've even tipped at a self-serve Froyo place once. Where literally didn't interact with a single employee or anything. Just made my own Froyo and I still tipped at the goddamn checkout.
No, see, you got to draw the line somewhere, and that would be one of those times where you're just like, no, man, if I made the whole thing and I didn't even interact with anybody, nobody even said hello to me. No, there's no excuse for that. Nobody's getting tipped for that.
But point is, not everyone can do that, and not everyone should be required or expected to do that. It should always be the responsibility of the business to ensure the employees are making a livable wage, and tips should be something that is entirely optional as a way of rewarding exceptional service. And I know people have talked about that a lot, where they want to give extra to someone that really went above and beyond from them and they had a great experience with, so they want to tip that person to show their appreciation. That's great, but they should also just be making a livable wage, and that tip should go on top. I think that's how it should work in an ideal situation there.
Why you following me down the street?
Chill the fuck out, bro. Why'd you
Bro,
follow
chill
this
out.
man, bro?
Fucking make
Chill
money,
out,
huh?
chill out.
Why'd you following this man?
Chill out, bro. You need to calm down, bro.
You
Why
fucking
you
raise
following
your
me
goddamn
down the
voice
street,
at me, huh?
Bro, you
Huh?
need to get back.
You
You trying to
wanna
back
fucking
me into a
apologize?
corner. You trying to back me into a corner, bro.
What is wrong with you, bro?
What are you doing? What are you doing, bro?
And now you mad because I won't tip you and you follow me down
How
the
am I
street?
supposed to fucking make money?
Okay, so raise your prices,
They
dude.
don't
That's
get
not
money
my
like
problem.
that, you fucking
I know
shit. That
you
doesn't
mad.
don't
I know.
work like
So
that.
don't serve me.
It's crazy to be doing this while wearing his restaurant on his chest.
I said that because now people are going to relate the restaurant to him, and they're going to want to come in and see him and terrorize him now. So yeah, I said that.
So what happened after this video blew up is a lot of people went to the restaurant and left a lot of really bad reviews on it, which I think they've been deleted now. I don't know if it's by him or if there's like a system in place for it. Couldn't tell you. But it was a really bad look for his restaurant here. He also just recently did an interview with CBS. I'll show you that in a moment. But I want to dive into the spaghetti and meatballs of something that the guy filming mentioned briefly. Raise your prices then. He's right. If the business owner can't afford to pay his employees a livable wage, he would naturally need to raise prices so he'd have more money to be able to pay his employees. But on the flip side of that coin, by raising his prices, he would have less customers because they would choose a place that is cheaper. Now, there was actually a little experiment conducted by someone named Michael Lynn, and it's been referenced by a lot of people when they talk about tipping culture, where he put two hypothetical restaurants against each other. Restaurant 1 had prices.
All right, so let's look at this. Restaurant 1 has a cheeseburger for $15. Same ingredients as restaurant 2. Well, it looks like their cheeseburger costs $17.25, so $2.25 extra. So it looks like under restaurant 1, a customary tip of 15 to 20% is appreciated. It's not required. And then under restaurant 2, tipping is not allowed. Menu prices have been increased 15% to pay our staff. So, and you know what? Tipping is not allowed. That means they're taking the base rate of 15%. That sucks. So yeah, that $2.25, that's what's going every time you buy a cheeseburger. Which, you know, I guess if I don't know, I guess that could add up, but still, you're not making much money doing that. But I guess if you put these two restaurants up, you know, I mean, $15 for a cheeseburger, that better be a damn good cheeseburger. But I think, yeah, I mean, naturally, people are going to gravitate towards restaurants where, you know, tipping it's appreciated, but it's not like required. Whereas if you go to, if you just look at these prices just all, you know, on their own, it's not that much of a difference, but it's, yeah, you'd probably want to go to restaurant 1 just because the price is cheaper. And that's usually what people look at. They just look at the price. They don't look at anything else.
Is like $15 for a cheeseburger, but a 15 to 20% gratuity to be expected at the end, versus restaurant 2, where there is no tipping at all, but the cheeseburger is $17.25. Now, if you've got your thinking caps on, if you've passed, you know, second grade arithmetic, you'll know these are the same price. But overwhelmingly, the people in the study thought that restaurant 1 was cheaper. Thus, people are going to gravitate towards that. Even though they're the same price after tip, people are going to choose the one that looks lower and cheaper to them. You have to remember, a lot of people...
Also, there was also a study where if you have a product, it could be anything. It doesn't have to be food. It could be, you know, let's call it like a mug or something, like a coffee mug. So you're selling a coffee mug for $10, and you're selling the same coffee mug for $15. Typically, people equate the price of something to the quality of something. And if they see that the price is more increased on pretty much the same product that you get cheaper, there are some people that are going to probably gravitate toward the one that's more expensive because they associate that with quality. It doesn't have to necessarily, you know, be more quality. It's just the perception that because it costs more, it should be, you know, made better or something like that. When 9 times out of 10, it's typically just someone is overcharging you.
People are just fucking stupid. Does anyone recall when the third of a pound burger was introduced a long time ago? I've talked about this too. Back in the day, the quarter pounder crushing it. And A&W wanted to start trying to, you know, encroach on that territory, so they introduced a third of a pound burger. But it flopped. It completely failed. This shit fumbled like...
Burden introduced a burger at its location with a sign that said, "Today's Fremont, tomorrow the world." Big Al was wrong about that. The quarter pounder was an instant success. The name was trademarked and it became McDonald's menu item worldwide. Increasingly, A&W decided to give the quarter pounder some competition in the 1980s, so it introduced a third of a pound burger. That doesn't really roll off the tongue too well. It was priced the same as a quarter pounder, but with a third of a pound of beef instead of just a quarter pound. It even underperformed the quarter pounder in taste test, and nobody bought it. When A&W did focus groups to try to figure out why, the reason was simple and hilarious. It turns out people aren't so savvy with fractions. So yeah, the third of a pound of burger is more burger for pretty much the same price as a quarter pounder, which is less. I mean, I think visually you'd have to look at it and have them both next to each other and you could see which one is more, but I don't know.
Concord. It was a culinary Concord level disaster for them because people thought they were paying the same price for less burger. They didn't realize that a third of a pound is more than a quarter pound. So in the case of a restaurant that wants to pay their workers a livable wage and take tipping out of the equation and instead put that price into the menu itself, which is what a lot of people say they should do, well, their restaurant might not survive very long because people don't actually think very hard about things. So even in this hypothetical example, you're paying the same price, but the perception is it's cheaper to go with the place that just has tipping as an option. Now that brings us to the unicorn that people are looking so desperately to have, where all of the tipping is gone, eradicated, but all of the prices have stayed exactly the same.
You know, it will never be like that. I know some people really want to have tipping completely abolished and then keep the prices the same. There's no way that anybody will ever be able to retain workers to actually show up for that. And they're everybody, all these businesses that are out here that are, are on this whole tipping system, they're going to close down. New places are going to open up, and then they're going to close down because they're not going to be able to, pay the rent because they're not going to be able to make enough money.
That's just not a realistic possibility for like 99% of these restaurants. Like, when they take away the tipping, they are then going to need to pay a lot more for those employees. Thus, they're going to need to somehow get more money. It's going to be by folding that difference into the menu items. Thus, it's going to look like you're paying more, even in cases where you might not be. So it's very tough for a lot of these restaurants to just immediately jump on board with that, which is why we're in this fucking stalemate where tipping culture is just completely out of control, and why so many service industry workers are getting fucked because of just how rampant this issue is, and more people are choosing not to tip because they want to fight back against this. And in a lot of cases, they don't realize that they're not actually fighting back against tipping culture itself. They're just hurting the employees that are relying on it. And I think a lot of it doesn't, I don't think it comes down to malice. I don't think they're doing that to just be like, fuck you to the service industry.
No, every business needs to make profits, okay? They need to be doing better than they did the previous year. The only way to do that is by coming up with new menu items, by slowly, incrementally increasing their menu prices, and, keeping staff. You got to pay your staff, and it's good when your staff is being maintained and not having a high turnover rate, which, you're going to have a high turnover rate anyway in a restaurant. So it's a balancing act, a delicate balancing act.
Workers. I really think that they believe by not tipping, the restaurant is going to change its policy, but it's probably not, unfortunately. Most of these fucking restaurants will sooner pay their workers in knuckle sandwiches than they will in raising their salary.
Yeah, things aren't going to be changing anytime soon, unless something drastically happens to where, everybody is making buku dollars, and it's not like not everybody's struggling and tipping won't be a thing, then yeah, but until then, things are the way they are because it's what has worked for us.
And there's a lot more nuance to it. Like, I'm just giving you like bare bones, surface level shit here. Like, I haven't even begun to talk about the establishments that pay out a portion of their tips across all of the employees. Like, they get so...
Yeah, I talked about this, the whole tip pool system, and also having a service charge when you go into restaurants and stuff. A lot of that, goes to paying the back of the house. So it doesn't just extend to just the waiters and waitresses and hostesses. It goes to the bussers, the kitchen employees, the cooks and stuff. And yeah, so everybody's getting a little piece of your tip.
So messy, and there are so many underhanded tactics to exploit these workers. It's a fucking issue. Anyway, though, back to the video that started this whole rant. I want to show you from the owner's perspective on the CBS interview.
Telling us he followed a regular into the street and
Oh, so this took place in Chicago. Good to know.
intending to tell him never to come back after leaving without tipping again.
Have you watched the video?
Yes.
And when you watched it, what did you see there?
Ashamed. I was just ashamed, bringing shame to my wife as a husband, as an owner, at the same time, to my mom and dad.
So according to the owner here, this was a customer that's a regular at the establishment, and he had finally had enough, so after he didn't tip again, he followed him outside, intending to just say, don't come back, kind of like shake his fist at him, and stay out, and that kind of thing. But it obviously spiraled more out of control than that and blew up in a much bigger way, which ignited a huge debate online about tipping. Because tipping is a very controversial topic. People feel very strongly, especially people that have been in the industry before. And while there definitely are cases where people don't tip just to be an asshole, I really do think there is a lot of confusion around how tipping even like works, that people think by not doing it, they're going to help be like a catalyst for change at that business, where they'll realize that the tips aren't coming in, so it's losing the business money, thus they're going to change their policy to actually pay their workers a livable wage, and then they won't be, you know, forced to rely on strangers to cover their expenses.
It will never ever happen. If anything, those servers will leave and then somebody else will take their place, and then it will just keep doing that until, you know, the place finally closed down. Because if you can't retain your staff, then yeah, your business will have to close down, because, you know, people are going to complain that their food's taking a long time to come out, or they're having a long time to get seated or get served or whatever. Yeah, it's there's a lot of logistics that go into running a restaurant, and a lot of it is dependent on the work staff. If they're not happy, man, it's like that's how restaurants crumble, you know?
But that's, again, just not going to happen in the majority of cases, because it doesn't hurt the actual business owner. What's supposed to happen is if they don't reach minimum wage, like if they don't get enough tips to reach that, the business is supposed to cover it. That rarely happens. There are so many workarounds that these businesses pull, so many like backdoor hand job reacharoos that they are able to squeak out of not actually covering that. So it doesn't ever hurt the business itself.
Yeah, if anything, a restaurant will tell you, well, hey, you can work more shifts. I can give you more shifts, and that way you can make more money. When if the situation is like, well, this place isn't really getting a lot of foot traffic, so I'm barely getting any money as it is, to have more shifts like that, I mean, people would just be like, look, I'll rather just do something else. I'll go do Uber or you know, maybe go take up a second job somewhere else, you know, if it's not working out. So, yeah, sometimes, you know, restaurants just, it's also the location of the restaurant. If they're not getting enough foot traffic, doesn't matter how good your service is, man. Because if you don't have people sitting in the seats, it doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter if the whole prices are low or prices are high. You know, if people just don't go to it, they don't go to it.
It only hurts the worker. And I really think there's a large number of people that don't understand that. But even understanding that, there are people that just can't afford to pay an extra 20% on top of what they've already just paid. And I see a lot of people regurgitating this take that's becoming very common. If you can't afford to tip, you can't afford to eat out. Okay.
I agree with that. I think you should just go to a grocery store, go take that money that you were going to go spend, because you're going to spend, what, $20 in the restaurant? Go take that $20 and go to the grocery store, you know, and make yourself a couple meals. And, you know, you can do it however you want. I don't think that you need to make anybody suffer for your lack of knowledge or consideration.
Fair enough in something like Uber Eats or like fine dining or something. Okay, you can make that argument, I suppose. But it doesn't work for everything, because there is no cheap ways of eating anymore, really. Even something like fast food is not that cheap.
Well, fast food isn't cheap, of course, but I mean, you don't need to go fast food either. I think you should just go to the grocery store, you know? And I'm not saying go to Sprouts or go to Whole Foods, you know, because that's super expensive, you know? Just any grocery store that's, you know, that's out there, Kroger, Publix, Aldi, go to those places and get groceries, you know, just go there. You'll be fine. You know, get some eggs, get some bread, get some rice, you know, get some peanut butter and jelly, and, you know, get some ramen noodles. You know, you don't got to go to a ramen restaurant, you know, just there's ways around it. I just think that people are they're just used to this whole being taken care of, and people are lazy. They want everything done for them. And that's another reason why people go out to eat so much and order food, because it's just like, it's one less thing they got to worry about. So
a McDonald's meal, it's not $1 anymore, sports fans. It's a handful of clams. And grocery shopping is pretty fucking pricey too. It's expensive. Like, it is hard to pay an extra 15 to 20% consistently on top of things that you're already paying for when you're eating. Like, I just don't fully agree with that take.
Bro, you about to blow up on social media, bro.
When asked why he didn't tip, the customer told people online, "Oh, I just didn't want to." Cho tells us the customer's brother has since come in, describing their conversation as productive.
I apologized to him and to his family, and I was asking if he can pass this message along to his little brother.
Adding he sent the brother home with the customer's favorite order, a handwritten apology, and an offer.
My door's open for you, man. You know, come on by anytime.
That sounds like a okay, yeah, come back, man. Promise. You come back, I'll make your food myself, and it will be your last meal. Because he's gonna poison the hell out of it.
Well, I do think that response of, oh, I just didn't want to, is pretty douchey. Again, he doesn't have to. And I really do think it shouldn't be expected that every single person does tip. Because that's just the reality of it. It is 100% an issue that needs to be addressed on like the actual business front. And it's why there's so many people that study tipping itself and are trying to brainstorm how to improve it and get rid of it to certain extents. Because it is a terrible fucking system that nobody else in the world really uses, and in a lot of other cultures is actually viewed as insulting. So
yeah, Japan is like that. I think you can't tip in Japan because they'll feel insulted that you want to pay extra, when it's like, no, that's not required. It's not part of their culture. But it's different here, you know, and it's so ingrained, and it's just like it's not going away, you know. I mean, who's to say in our lifetime if things are going to change in terms of the whole service industry, how things are becoming more and more automated? Maybe if you go to an all robot restaurant where you don't have to tip, and maybe you know, the prices are reasonable, maybe, you know, maybe that might work. But I think as long as you have humans, you know, walking around doing physical labor and, you know, maintaining a bunch of tables and stuff like that, and also being personable and high, you know, being happy and stuff like that, I think that whole model is not going to be going anywhere.
It is something that does need changing, 100%. Now, in the case of this business owner here, he really seems remorseful. Like, he really does seem like he's trying to make amends. It does seem like maybe he was just having like a really fucking bad day, and not getting that tip meant that one of his workers wasn't going to receive like the full pay they should have, so he snapped and did this, and he seems embarrassed by it. So I'm of the belief that he does regret it, and that this is going to be an experience that he won't be repeating or anything like that. But that statement he made during the argument, how is my staff supposed to make a living without tips? Paraphrasing a bit, but that was the essence. It speaks volumes to just how poisonous tipping has become, where the business owner himself cannot even grapple with the idea of paying his employees a livable wage, because it's such an accepted and expected business practice of paying them sub-minimum wage, literal tiddlywinks of dollars, because it's the customer's responsibility to take care of the rest. That's just crazy to me. It blows my mind. So yeah.
It might be crazy to you, but it is the system, the current system that we are in. So I think just reserve those seats for people that are going to play ball and people that want to just freeload. And I call them freeloaders because they will take the service, they'll take the hospitality, and then they'll just pay the bare minimum, which is, you know, just whatever the food cost. And then that's it. And I don't think that is an equal situation. I think it should be, you know, if someone goes above and beyond, I think you should take care of them. You know, if they give you the standard service, I think you should take care of them. I think it's only when you get bad service, you know, or you get attitude or whatever like that, then yeah, you're in your complete right to just not leave anything. But I just think that these restaurants, the tipped establishments and stuff, you got to go in there with a little bit of know-how. And I think if you go in there thinking, oh, I can just, you know, eat and leave and stuff and not, I mean, it's like almost having kind of ignorance to the whole thing. You know, you don't understand what you're doing is wrong, so you just do it. So I think that's the end of this one. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much the end of this video. The only thing I want to really talk about, let's see, there was one thing on length of girth, and then after that, I actually have to do a project for a client, which, let me see. Oh yeah, it was this one here. And you know what? This might have to be boosted up a little bit because it is a fresh clip. You know, because fresh clips, whenever he's on his podcast, it's a little low. So let's make sure the volume is up. Let's boost this up to like 500. Yeah, 500 should be fine. All right. Hopefully it won't be too loud. Let's see. And this is basically Fresh talking about the whole boxing match and how he doesn't want to do it anymore. Well, he never wanted to do it. He was basically just doing it just to get people to go over to his page. And yeah, I think it's a pathetic attempt to really kind of save face. And I'm really mad that Dom Luker and Gary didn't call Fresh out on this. They just kind of have his back on it. But yeah, I'm not gonna say more. Let's just listen to what Fresh has to say.
Is that
Ask any bro, ask any. Am I on?
yeah, you are.
Yeah, I think you are.
I don't attack nobody. But the problem is, bro, when I speak the truth and you're emotional, you get offended, and we squash it. So listen, bro, understandable, bro. You don't like that? I got you. But then you go make tweets about me and clips about me for days on end. I'm like,
That's just nuts.
bro, what are you on, my nigga? Then I said to you, listen, bro, I still got no hate. I'm cool with Myron. You cool with Myron? No hate. So why you going even more? Oh, bro, da-da-da-da. Cool. And then, listen, I'll just elephant in the room. The whole boxing thing.
Yeah.
There's a reason why I said no to that fight.
Okay, but what is the reason why you challenged him? You challenged him to a fight, and then okay, so he's gonna tell us the reason why he said no. Let's
I brought up the other show before, but it's because I know what's gonna happen with this fight. Force Nico. And just to say, fuck you, nigga, I'm gonna say no. No, chat.
So wait, he knows what's going to happen in the fight. Does that mean that he's going to get his ass beat by Sneako, or he's going to beat Sneako's ass, or what? Like, he never goes into what he knows is going to happen for Sneako if this fight happens.
I know it sounds crazy.
He needed him way more than he did.
I'm telling you right now, they called me 20,000 times for this fight. Why did they call me for this fight? He needs this fight, bro. And
You challenged him to the fight, though, Fresh. This is what I don't understand. Like, this is the part where he's not taking accountability. He's saying, oh, I'm not going to give him this fight because he needs the fight, but you're the one who challenged him to the fight, and you're the one who's backing out of the fight. So it's like, I don't, he doesn't see where he's wrong here, and he's kind of being a little bitch about it.
You know what, nigga? Fuck you. You won't fight me, nigga, because I know you need this more than I do. Nigga, I don't need this shit. I'm good, nigga. Your career's in shambles.
No, you're a bitch. You're a bitch is what it is. You don't want to get punched in the face. And that's what it is. Like, I would really like to see that happen. And unfortunately, because Fresh is such a bitch, he will not take Sneako up on that.
Dumbass nigga. So when I tell you, nigga, you're cooked, you are cooked. And I won't say no more after that.
Well done, huh?
No. He's cooked well done. So well done. And he thought going to Yale was a W. Nigga, you're retarded.
So, yeah, we're not seeing that fight happen, unfortunately. Fresh is standing on this whole position that, oh, no. Sneako needs this fight more than Fresh needs it, even though Fresh is the one who instigated the whole thing. And so, yeah, this will be fight number 2 that Fresh has dodged. First one being Preach, and now the second one being Sneako. That is literally all I have between those clips, and honestly, that's all I got. I know it's only about an hour into the whole stream. I said this is going to be a chill stream, and I am going to maintain that it is going to be a chill stream. So what I'm going to do, I have to do this project, which I don't care if you guys can still ask me questions. If you have any questions that you'd like me to talk about, or topics you want me to talk about, if there's anything things that you saw that you'd like me to talk about, let me check real quick if there's anything else, because I mean sometimes I find stuff.
Did you call the child the nigga?
Oh wait, I forgot about this. So there was a part of the video of this woman who called the N-word to this little 5-year-old kid, and I don't know if anybody's talked about this. Let's see what this one's all about.
Did you call him a nigger, the child?
The fuck you talking
Did you
about?
call the child the nigger word?
None of your fucking business.
It is my own business. You call him a nigger? Okay, why don't you have the boss to say it right now again?
Fuck you, nigger.
Okay.
Nigger.
All right, that's what you say. Nobody dig into your shit.
A little fucking kid just did, you dumbass.
That little kid, you call him a nigger?
Yeah.
The little child?
What if he acts like one? He's gonna.
Are you about to hit him? You chase him here?
He took my son's stuff.
So that gives you the right to call the child, 5-year-old, a nigger, the N-word.
If that's what he's gonna act.
That's
like.
what you're gonna call him.
That's what he's gonna act like.
You know, that's a hate speech. And you can be recorded for that.
I don't give a shit.
Huh.
Fuck off.
Okay, we'll see about that, what the internet has to say about you.
Tell me why that.
Yikes! I forgot that the volume's at 500 on this. Probably blasting y'all. Sorry. This is when we ever watch a fresh clip. It's got to be at 500 because his videos are so low.
White woman that called a 5-year-old black autistic boy the N-word multiple times.
Whoa, was he autistic? I didn't know he was autistic. What?
Is literally married to a black man. I repeat, that white woman, Miss Hendricks, no Jimmy, called a 5-year-old boy the N-word multiple times while married to a black man. Her karma is gonna get hers, but I want smoke with that black man that married her, because what the hell?
I did not know this part of the story, that she was actually with a black guy. Hey, maybe she feels like she could say it, you know? She's like, look, man, I'm with the black man, so it's not
The
a
female
big deal.
equivalent.
Let me see if there's anything else. I think there was one thing that I posted here.
The man that like.
Let's check. Oh wait, hold on. Let's go up to it real quick.
This is.
What was it? Oh, I did post something about Saint in the Center.
Yeah,
I'll show that to you guys real quick.
Listen, I read.
It was just something I saw. I was like, oh, I'm going to
It's
clip
a
this.
super chat.
Oops. I'm going to clip basically Saint in the Center out of context, and it's going to be pretty funny.
All that. I'm a niggerholic. I'm a niggerholic.
Hold on. You guys got to hear it. Okay, here we go. So I saw this clip, and I don't even remember where I clipped it from, but I was like, that's pretty funny. It was one of those things where I was at work, and I was listening to a video, and then Saint in the Center's video came on right after that video. It just kind of auto-played, and then I listened to this, and I was like, oh, shit. Like, if you take this out of context, he sounds pretty sus. So I had to go ahead and clip it and put it on Length or Girth. So here you go.
All that. I'm a niggerholic. I'm a niggerholic, and I want me some BBC.
I had to, guys. I had to. Oh, man. Because, I find funny clips, and I was like, yeah, I just thought it'd be funny. It's like, you got to know what you're saying, and I think he just didn't realize what he was saying. Let me see. I think there was one thing here about Myron and living with the woman. Hold on.
So Putin went in.
See if I can find it.
Jeff, realize.
I'll tell you exactly what I would tell my daughter.
Go ahead.
There we go. Let me find it. Loses his temper. It's talking about, I think, living with the woman. Let me see. I think it was not the Colin show. It was talking about Myron's point about living with your woman, living with your wife, which I thought it was a pretty good top. Oh, nuclear family Myron. Here we go. So let me see if I can zoom in on this for you guys. All right. So it says, for someone who promotes the nuclear family so much and says a woman's main purpose in life is to get married and have children, it's ironic that Myron's girlfriend is 28, not married, and does not have kids. If he really was in the promotion of a nuclear family, he would A, marry Angie and have children with her before half of her eggs are gone by 30, B, tell her to find someone who will actually take her seriously, give her a ring and children so she can fulfill her purpose on this earth. Instead, he's just wasting her peak years, making her his bang maid assistant. If I didn't know anything about Myron's life, I'd think he was married with 5 kids and a stay-at-home mother, not a 35-year-old bachelor living out his college dream to sleep with as many women as possible while telling everyone else that they need to bring children into this world. Once again, rules for you and not for me. And I thought it was a good point. I didn't comment on this one, but I just thought that, yeah, I mean, it seems that some people will say it that Myron will support this whole nuclear family idea, whatever. He doesn't have to partake or actually live that type of direction that he's promoting, but he can still promote it as like the general right thing to do, even though he's not doing it himself, which would make him a hypocrite. So I think, yeah, it is the situation that Myron and Angie, they're probably not going to get married, and they're probably not going to have, you know, any kids and stuff like that. She probably is going to eventually age out. And, you know, if she by 30 years old, yeah, I mean, that's going to be, it's going to be a thing where he's probably going to have to trade her up for somebody a little bit younger and try all over again. But, no, I just thought this was a good point. It just seems that even when he went to the college and he was debating all those kids and stuff about the nuclear family and how important it was, it just seems that he's not living what he's preaching. And I've already called it out. I know a few other people have online, but that's pretty much what I was thinking. This one guy said he'll marry Angie and have kids with her after she turns 30 just to make himself an even bigger fool than he already is. You should know by now how it goes with Myron. Whether he tells you, he always ends up doing the opposite. Whatever he tells you, he always ends up doing the opposite. In this case, he says women over 30 are useless, so I guarantee you he'll end up having kids with a 30-plus-year-old. And then this person said, well, the person that wrote this said, Myron will never be able to be a good husband and a father. He knows it, and Angie should know it too. A man who has slept with 400 plus women and brags about making his girlfriend pick up condoms from his house will never be able to settle down and devote his time to his wife and children. Sex and money are the only important things to Myron, as much as he loves to promote the nuclear family. Imagine Angie telling her 12-year-old son, sorry, little guy, daddy's gone to Dubai with his girlfriend, but he'll be back next weekend to play soccer with you. Or, you saw dad with a half-naked woman? Don't worry, son. That's just his side chick. Go do your homework. If Angie is smart, she will leave this relationship and find someone who is actually serious about having a family and give her stability. I think that's a great point. I think Angie is just she's with Myron for the tangibles that he gives her. You know, she doesn't have to work. She can just basically sit at home and get a card, and you know, she gets her citizenship, whatever, if they eventually get married and stuff. But that's another thing. I don't think they're gonna get married because it's not gonna be in a, what's it called, in a courthouse or anything like that. It's gonna be in a church. So it might not be a legal marriage. Let's see. Myron's not a TradCon. What else? There was one more thing. I think that was it for this whole thing. But yeah, I just thought that, I mean, it was a good point this person made, and just speaks more to the hypocrisy of Myron and his whole like promoting the nuclear family, even though, yeah, excuse me. He's not working towards it himself. So, and I don't know how anybody can take advice from him, because it's he doesn't have a living example of what he's trying to do here. All right, so the only thing I want to do now is just work on this project here. Let me see if I can find some music to listen to that I can chill out about, and I will get this thing started here. Let me find let's see. All right. So we're gonna be chilling out. Let's see if I can. All right, let's get the OBS go. Not the OBS. The Inkscape going. Make sure I close down everything here. All right, where's my Inkscape at? There we are. All right, so what I'm going to be doing here, maybe that's too loud. I'm going to be doing a spine for Paper Mario 1000 Year Door. It's for my client. As you see, it is a red spine here, and I'm going to be doing a custom spine for him. So let's go ahead and get that started. If anybody wants to ask me any questions, or if you have any topics you want to talk about, we can talk about it. Till then, I'll be showing you guys my process here. So I'm gonna go to custom here. Leave the width has to be in, what was it, centimeters? Centimeters, right? I think it was like, or maybe, yeah, centimeters. No, it was millimeters. That's what it was, millimeters. The width is going to be 10 by 160. Yeah, there we are. So this is going to be our work area here. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to add the Switch logo. Let's go to import. I think it's under C, right? Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Let me just do this. Go to downloads, maybe? Yeah, should be there. Oh, you know what? Oh, here it is. Just as I was getting ready to give up, it's right here. All right, there we go. And then I'm also going to grab Nintendo. Let's do that. Okay, there we go. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is turn both of these into a vector here. So let's start with the Switch logo first. Let's go to, actually, you know what? Let's do this. I'll change this setup here so you guys can see better. All right, get this out of the way. There we go. All right, so I'm going to go to path, trace bitmap here, apply that. We can delete our source. All right. And as far as the color scheme here, I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do for the colors. I'm just going to put everything in place for right now. I'll figure out the color scheme later. Same thing with Nintendo. We're going to go ahead and turn this into a vector. Delete our source here. And we will All right, so overall, I definitely want to do like a red and yellow scheme. I think I want to do, because I think anybody that's played Paper Mario you can tell that everything, as far as the fighting, it's done on a stage. So there's always like red curtains with like yellow little hangy things. So let's see if I can find that real quick so I can you guys can see what I'm talking about. Let's do red curtain with yellow. What are those things called? Yellow trim? Let's see what we find. Okay. Okay, that looks... Let's look at more images here. Let's go to red curtain, Paper Mario. Let's see if I can see it. Okay. I think this might be good. Let's open this on a new tab. Yeah, so these little yellow things here. So it looks like it's yellow and it has like an orange outline. I think I can make this actually. But I think this might work for the spine. So I think what I can do, I like this whole like darker red with lighter red. I think if I just take a portion of this, let's see if I can find a better picture. Let's go back. Let's take a look at it. I might be able to just screenshot it. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I think I can screenshot this. Let's do it. Let me see. Where is my trusty snipping tool? Alright, so what we're going to do... I'm going to grab a rectangle snip of this. And we're just going to do maybe... probably like that much. Let's go to save this as... We'll just save this as Paper Mario curtain. Let's get out of this. Let's go down to import. We might be able to work with this. Okay, so let's put this to the back. Let's drop this down, the opacity to about 40 so we can see where it is. It's like centered here. Okay. That is pretty good. That is pretty centered. Let's see if I can make it. There we go. All right, let's bring this back to 100. Oops. All right. Yeah, we can probably make the symbol here, the Nintendo symbol, we'll make it the same color as the curtain just so it stands out. Do that yellow. Same with the Nintendo. Let's see what can make this the same color here. Let's see if those stand out at all. Oh yeah, that looks good. All right. All right, so now let's grab the paper. Well, actually, we're gonna need to do the logo for Paper Mario. I usually grab the logo first, but let's do it now. Okay, so this one looks good. That one looks good. Let's see. I think this one might be the best. Let's take a look. And it is a PNG, so that works out good. Okay. We can rotate this. There we go. Yeah, that white behind the lettering actually looks really good. It makes it stand out a little bit, so that's cool. Let's see where this is on the scale here. Let's make sure it's at we'll put it at 40%. Okay, so we want this to be we want it to be readable. We want it to also fit on the spine here. Okay. Now, we gotta also add the 1,000-year door to it, so let's do that. Let's see if I can find it. I really like the original Paper Mario logo style, and I wish... Yeah, everybody took this one, looks like. Let's find... 1,000-year door. Oh, okay, so this is the GameCube version. Used kind of like this light brown for 1,000-year door. I believe the Switch version used kind of like the yellow into red. I think that's what we're going to be doing. Let's see if I can find it. I might be able to just type it. Let's see if I can just type it and see if this will work. Because I have I have a Mario font here. Let's go. Make this big enough. Oops. All right, let's go to the Mario font. Let's see, I think... That's not it. That's the Mario Kart. Let's see if I can find... I think it's like Super Mario. Yeah. There we go. Now, we can probably do the whole gradient thing here. Let's try that. Let's see, we can make this probably the same as the whole Paper Mario font, where it's black outline, white background, another black outline with a yellow to red gradient. So let's start first with the yellow to red gradient first, and we can build off of that. Let's see. Oh, hold on. All right, so we're gonna go. Oops. All right, so we're gonna go from yellow, and then this one's gonna be red. About there, and then this one will be red. Okay. I don't know why it's on a radial gradient. It needs to be a linear. All right. Maybe bring this. Oh, oops. Yeah, it's on a. Okay. Alex, you just popped in. What are you making? I'm making a custom spine for Paper Mario: Thousand Year Door. I'm doing it for a client actually. He wants me to make custom spines, so. He's been sending me games actually, 3 at a time, and I've been making them for him. So, because you know how the Switch has like the basic red color spine? Well, I've made a bunch of custom ones, and he likes my artwork, so he's having me do that. Just to give you guys an idea of what I'm doing here, what I have done already. Let's go to Reddit real quick. Give you guys a little preview of my work so you guys can see. See. Switch spines. Oh, actually, let me go to my page. My page will actually have it, I think. Okay, so here you go. So this is all the spines that I've done so far. Well, I can't do it. I can't zoom it in. I mean, you guys get the point, right? So yeah, from left to right, you have Dragon Age. This one's Fire Emblem Engage, Fire Emblem Three Houses, Mario Kart Deluxe, Mario Tennis, Metroid Dread. This is Princess Peach Showtime, Sea of Stars, Super Mario Brothers Wonder, Super Mario Maker 2, Super Mario Odyssey, Super Mario Party, Mario Party Jamboree, Super Smash Brothers, Tactics Ogre Reborn, Legend of Zelda. I believe this one is Breath of the Wild, and the next one is Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Triangle Strategy, Unicorn Overlord, and Valkyria Chronicles 4. So yeah, I did all of these already for him. So now I'm going to do some more. This new one is yeah, for Thousand Year Door. So just getting the titles on here, and then after that I'm going to work in the artwork. I mean, that's the thing. We run the risk of this being way too small. Maybe I think Paper Mario needs to be up higher. Let's see if we can make that higher, like right about there. And then this part. I think I can make this bigger, actually. Let's go to... Yeah, that's like 8 point. Let's see if we make it like 18. Yeah, we're still gonna do, oops, let's back it up. We're still gonna make this probably the same thing. Give it like the black outline. Let's do that too. Black outline with a white background. So we're going to copy this. Make it white with a white background. And we're going to increase the stroke style to maybe keep it in pixels. See what that looks like. That behind it. Let's increase the stroke again. Okay, and it looks like we're working off of a thick, a thick outline here. Okay, so we'll do that again. We'll keep this how it is, and we'll just do another copy of it. Yeah, let's do that. And this time we'll just go black here, and we'll increase it just a tad. So this is going to go on top of here. Probably about that much. Looks cool. So we're going to group all this together. And it looks like the color needs to be a little bit more orange instead of yellow. Well, let's ungroup this for a moment. Let's go back to gradient. Spread this one out a little bit. Oops. I messed up. I messed up big time. There we go. Let's move this over. Move this to a linear gradient. So the color we're gonna go with is like more of an orange. That looks better. Move this right about here. We're gonna move this about here. All right, I like that. But now that I like that, I don't know if I like the Switch logo. I think the Switch logo needs to be... Hey, let's bring this back to 100%. Okay. Actually, now that I look at it, it looks fine to me. Maybe if I do yellow with an orange outline, that might work. Let's try that. It'll be subtle, very subtle. Let's go to stroke here, bring it up to pixels. This one. Yeah, let's do the same thing. A little bit more. Maybe a little bit less there. I think with the Nintendo logo, I want to keep it yellow, but I want to have the orange behind it. That's what I'll do, just so. Because it's barely noticeable on here. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just make it a... draw a box here. And we'll just make this into kind of an oval shape here. And we'll put this behind it. All right, that looks good. And then what we're gonna do, I gotta grab a Paper Mario now. See if I can find a Paper Mario. Paper Mario. See if I can find one. That's a good one. I like this one with the mallet. The map is cool too. I like this one. The one with the gun, that's pretty cool. I don't think he gets a gun in the game. Let's see. Which one do we like the best? Do we like the one with the map, or do we like him with his hand up? I think this one looks cool. Let's... Exo Charles! What's up, dude? Welcome to the stream. No GTA... Wait, what does it say? No GTA 6 this year? Oh, no. That's not good. That's not good at all. That's unfortunate. There was a video I saw, actually. You just reminded me. This guy, he did a video on the release of, let me see if I can find it, of GTA 6. I think it's called Shad, kinda funny. I just saw it today. Just reminded me of it. When they released GTA 6. Here we go.
Grandpa? Yes. Could you tell me about GTA 6?
It was supposed to be the best game ever.
What happened?
We're still waiting for it.
I was a teen just like you when I first started playing GTA 5. That's like... I don't even have enough fingers to count. Or toes. 64 years. I remember playing GTA Online like it was yesterday.
GTA Online?
Yes. They gave us heists, bunkers, warehouses, clubs, casinos.
Oppressors?
We don't speak about those.
Sorry, Grandpa.
They gave us everything but GTA 6. But now I want to give you something. Here.
Who is this?
An old friend. I want you to take care of him for me. Because I don't think...
Granddad. No. 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 Granddad, they dropped GTA 6.
What?
Never mind, they took it back. They delayed it again.
Bruh.
That dude shot.
Shout out to Shad, kind of funny. I literally saw this today. I was like, yeah, dude, we're probably not going to see GTA 6 in our lifetime, man. Like, it's just, it is what it is, man. Exo Charles, I actually like campers. Campers could be cool. It's whatever you guys want to be called. I mean, if you want to be called hustlers, I like the hustler community. I like the if you guys want to be, I thought we could call it the campground or the campsite, or yeah, that's pretty much what I was thinking about. But oops, let me get back to what we were doing here. Get to our music. You guys want to listen to more of that mashup music that I had earlier in the stream? Cabos, did you like that at all? Let me see if I can find one. I think it was called. Oh, did you guys? That's it kind of reminds me. You guys hear about was it Kanye West? He did his World War III whole album about like Nazism and stuff. I don't know. It was kind of wild. I don't know if you guys want to hear that stuff. That's kind of crazy. What was it? It was I think it was Mac Glocky. Let's see if I can listen to this one. I think he did. Oh, okay. Incubus did Digital Bath by Deftones. He has another one. This is the one we were listening to earlier. If Incubus wrote Aerials by Sode. If Stain wrote Every Morning by Sugar Ray. That's a good one. If Korn wrote Informer by Snow. If Incubus wrote Heart Shaped Box, I like that one. If Incubus did Duality by Slipknot. Audio Slave wrote Numb by Linkin Park. If Korn wrote 1,000 Miles by Vanessa Carlton, that's pretty funny. Was it Tool made Headstrong by Trapped? Let's see. Cabo said, did you see the conversation between Nick Fuentes and Sneeko? I did actually. We can go into that actually. That was. Let's go back. Why is my screen zoomed all the way in like that? That was I can't read it. Okay. Yeah, he did. He was talking with. Oh, there it is. Living with Your Wife. I think I found it. Yeah, he was talking to I guess Nick, and I guess that was when he was on with Kanye West, and how, yeah, I think it was Nick. He basically called him. I can't remember what happened exactly. All I remember is that he called out Sneeko to his face, saying, you know, when he I guess he stepped away from the podcast that they were going to do, the Controlled Chaos, and because he got his YouTube back for a day, and yeah, he was saying it was kind of messed up that he did that. So let's just so you guys know what I'm talking about. Let's see. I think it was back here. Yeah, I thought it was kind of messed up though. I mean, good on Nick Fuentes for like, you know, being direct with Sneeko about it, but yeah, I mean, Sneeko's gonna be Sneeko. Where is it? I should have saved it, but I was like, I don't know if I'm going to talk about it. I don't even know if it was really worth talking about. My opinion. Yeah, dude, I'm going so far back. I don't even, yeah, this is like going back. Talking about Fresh falling off. Yeah, that's, it was a weird, Exo Charles came back and says, it was a weird week because Sneeko collabed with Ye and Nick. Yeah, I remember because they did the release of, he named the album Cuck, which is kind of crazy. So kind of funny that Ye named his album that. Have you guys listened to the album? It's kind of wild. Like the World War II, World War III track. I listened to the Hal H Word, the guy with the mustache, and then I think there was another one I listened to, the Bianca song, of course. I listened to that one, and I was like, oh, that's kind of wild. Let's see if I can find it. Yay! I don't know if I want. I don't know if it'll be safe to play it though. Let's see. Yeah, that's the World War III. That's the Hal H Word. Oh, here it is. The full album. Should I just leave it as like background music? We can do that. It's like 20 minutes. Let's see if I can get my work done, and I can leave this as background music. Okay, about this album. Yeah, the lyrics are crazy. The production, though, you gotta admit, is kind of good. You gotta say Kanye West, he is playing to his strengths here, whether, you know, his message is hateful or whatever. The beat sounds good. So if you just don't know what's going on, if you don't like listen to the lyrics, it actually sounds pretty good. But I can't endorse reading Mein Kampf, you know, reading a couple pages before he goes to sleep. Didn't Myron have a copy of Mein Kampf at the college debate that he had? I remember he mentioned that. So yeah, Myron, he's completely bought into this whole thing. Sound of World War III, but the lyrics make it impossible to hear. Yeah, I can hear that. Sometimes the lyrics are actually drowned out, I believe, by the music. It seems like the production is the balancing is a little off. It doesn't really give the lyrics any punch. Not that you would want to hear the lyrics clearly because of the message. Maybe that was the whole point. But yeah. With the windows rolled up. Somebody did a review of this and they said it would be, it's like, this music isn't good. This is music that I would listen on my own, like in private. You know, it's like it's a banger that I would listen to it in private, but I'd never listen to it in public. And I was like, I kind of feel that. Let's see. Is it gonna go to the next song? I don't know if it is or not. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah, it's still that's weird. I wanted it to go through the whole thing. Let's see.
Right. Just want you to
this is the Bianca song.
Come back to me.
Oh shit.
Don't know what I did to make you mad. Bianca,
I just deleted that whole thing.
Come back to me. Want you to come back to me. Want you to come back. My baby, she ran away, but first she tried to get me committed.
Not going to the hospital, cause I am not saying that just to not get it.
She want me to say when I finish, I'm making her scream.
You said Myron played the song a bunch of times in the subathon. You know, I didn't even watch the subathon. I saw the link to it, but I didn't watch it. I'm pretty sure, yeah, he was loving this music, dude. Like, it was really playing to his whole his whole audience, man, because I'm sure they were all doing O slash yeah, O slashes whatever in the chat.
When I'm
Oh
in,
yeah.
she's having a panic attack and she is not liking the way that I tweeted.
Yeah.
Until Bianca's back, I'll stay up all night, I'm not going to sleep. I really don't know where she's at. I'm tracking my bitch through an app. I'm tracking my bitch through the city. I guess we the new Cassie and Diddy. I'm making this song for Bianca. I'm feeling the spirit of thunder. My family, they want me locked up. They want me to go on retreat. They want me to run in me. They want me to run in me. She hopped in the car and she ran. My
He didn't
bitch
even
just don't
sing anything just
understand.
now.
Sometimes I just feel like it's planned. Cause I know that everyone changes. Sometimes I hate being famous. I know that they think about killing me. That's why I got heavy artillery. Some niggas that voted for Hillary. Like nigga, you gotta be kidding me. Like nigga, you gotta be telling a joke. Not taking advice from a nigga that's broke. Bianca, I just want you to come back. Don't know what I did to make you mad. Bianca, I just want you to come back. Want you to come back to me. Want you to come back to me. Want you to come back.
Hold on.
And I'm pretty sure Bianca's not coming back. All right. I mean, after this whole deep end that Kanye's on, I just don't think that there's nothing. I mean, after pretty much showing her body to everybody on the Emmys, and I don't know, was it the Emmys or Grammys? It was the Grammys. And then yeah, this whole swastika arc that Kanye's on, it's kind of wild. So I don't think she's coming back. It was nice that he made a song for her and stuff, but yeah, it's like too little too late.
I fell in love with the nitrous. Rolling on me.
Nitrous.
I know these niggas won't kill me. Or I stay in a bulletproof building. No, it's just a demon. She keep getting my semen. Ask her who she fuck with. She say Hitler, yeah, and Jesus. Hitler, yeah, and Jesus. Hitler, yeah, and Jesus cry. Niggas be talking about taking my line. Niggas be pussy, they ain't gon' slide.
Yeah, that was weird.
Talking about my dream instead of we and tree. And a lonely feeling. Talking about them and me instead of family. Painted a lonely feeling. Even just me.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about this one. This one's kind of like an intermission track. See if we get... Yeah, we heard that one. World War III. Yeah, I'm not really feeling this whole album. It's kind of true. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. Let's go. Let's see if I can find another one. I think he had that one with Cousins, and then he had the other one. Let's remastered new verse. This is a snippet It's only a minute and 20 seconds. Let's listen to it. Oh, Jesus. The stream goes down, let me know.
All my niggas now this nigga how dealing, nigga how dealing, nigga how healing. All my niggas now this nigga how healing. They don't know this turn up things I say on Twitter. But my Indian bastards, they a how killer, they a how killer, they a how killer. Bro, my Indians has to be a how killer. She just burn falling the fence. I want 3 niggas for sense. When it gon' toss my limits was just getting these hate fucking my ways. Never seen megabyte Joe, my strength like play, so tape like air. They all miss these hands on the trick right now, so why so late? Can't see on the right neck, so watch that shit you play your way. I need to engage in way to sing, they so lately. Nigga, how killer? Nigga, how killer? Nigga, how killer?
Yeah, that wasn't that good. Let's go to the other one. The other one I think I know about is Cousins. Cousins?
The National Football League welcomes you to the app.
Oh, no, they made a music video. Let's just listen to this one. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't listen to the rest of that. That's like garbage, man. It's really unfortunate that Kanye has like gone down this path, man. It's just like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy was like the last good shit that he put out. Then after that, it was just, I don't know, man. It's unfortunate. Let's go back to what I was listening to before. Surprised the stream is still up. I'm really surprised. I thought it was going to be taken down for sure for playing any of that. All right. Let's go back. Yeah, but if you guys have any other things that you want me to talk about, let me know. If you guys have any questions, whatever. This is literally just me chilling out, finishing this project that I've been handed. And, but yeah, I'm just chilling out this Saturday. Nothing really to talk about. Nothing really. I do appreciate you guys coming out. I really do. hit delete. Fucking ass. I shouldn't have done that. I wanted to play more of that music, the mashup music, because it seems like Kavos really liked that music that was played in the beginning of the stream. Let's see if I can do it. This might get the stream taken down. I don't know. Let's check it out though. Let's listen to. Okay, so he did the Aerials one. Let's listen to Nirvana and Incubus. This is a good one. Let's see. All right, here we go.
Incubus style.
I fucking hit delete on that. Fucking ass. Hold on. Let's do this. Let's go to Facebook app. Oh, that works for me. All right. Let's see. I think there's another one he did that was really good. If Incubus wrote Digital Bath, this one's a good one.
If Incubus wrote Digital Bath by Deftones. Today I'm using this totally rad Stingray guitar from Ernie Ball Music Man.
then dried you off.
Let's see. I think he did one. He did one that I really like. It was by, I think it was by Stained. Stained and
Y'all seem to really
hold
like
on.
the Incu.
It was Stained and Every Morning by Sugar Ray. Let me see if I can find that one. Yeah, this one. This one's pretty good.
If Stained wrote Every Morning by Sugar Ray, send this to Aaron Lewis and Mark McGrath.
Every morning there's a halo hanging from the corner of my girlfriend's papa's bed. I know it's not my bad, I see if I can use it for the weekend or a one-night stand. Couldn't understand how to work it out. Once again, that's predicted, left my broken heart open and you ripped it out. Something's got me reading, stopped me from believing, done me around again. Said that we can do it, now I wanna do it again. Every morning when I wake up, every morning when I wake up, every morning when I wake up, shut the door, baby, shut the door, baby. Every morning there's a heartache hanging from the corner of my girlfriend's papa's bed. I know it's not mine and I know she thinks she loves me, but I never can believe what she said. She always writes the wrong for me. She always writes the wrong for me, baby. She always writes the wrong for me. She always writes the wrong, and I hate myself. Every morning there's a halo hanging from the corner of my girlfriend's papa's
I'm gonna leave
bed.
this on.
I know it's not my bad, I see if I can use it for the weekend or a one-night stand.
Oh, I like that. I'm gonna leave it as it is.
Every morning there's a halo hanging from the corner of my girlfriend's papa's bed. I know it's not my bad, I see if I can use it for the weekend or a one-night stand. Every morning when I wake up, shut the door, baby, shut the door, baby.
All right, so that is it. I think I finished it. This is the finished product. I don't know if I want to add more to it. I kind of like just keeping it simple like this. You know, you got the title, which is readable. You got the Mario figure here. You got the Nintendo and the Switch logo kind of like reflecting the colors without. So it's kind of cohesive throughout. I like it. I do want to check Reddit and see what other people have done. Let's see. Let's go to Reddit real quick. So if you go into Reddit, go into Switch Spines and just type in Paper Mario 1000-year door. Let's see what other people have done. I haven't looked at this, so I don't know. Okay. Okay. So they got the Nintendo's. This is the reason. This is what I don't like. What other people do here. Hold on. Let me see. There we go. So yeah, he got the lettering good here, but then this right here, 1000-year door, it just doesn't. It's not that readable. And then this little Nintendo Switch rectangle here, it takes up so much real estate. That's why, kind of why I do the things I do. And then this one, he has the little Goomba sidekick character instead of Mario. I guess that's fine. And it looks like he did the curtain thing because you can kind of see the little curtain theme throughout. So we were kind of similar on that one. Let's see if I can do another one. We'll see what other people did. All right, same thing. Red square, a rectangle, whatever. Looks like he used a different Paper Mario logo, and he went different colors here. Looks like he used the Mario, same Mario I did. But what I try to do is try to keep the character off of the Nintendo logo. I like to keep the Nintendo logo completely separate. So as you see, yeah, I didn't want it to be disrupted at all, so he didn't mind doing that, but now it looks like Mario has like a little long dong here, a little Nintendo dong. And then this right here, the 1000-year door, it's the same thing as before. I don't know, I'm not a fan of that. It's not that readable, in my opinion. Let's go to the next one. Okay. So he kind of did the curtains thing, but he has it sideways, pushing the 1000-year door like off center because it's underneath the curtain. I don't know. I don't know if I like this either. The outline on Paper Mario is way too thick. Yeah, this isn't a good. I don't like the green with the muted red. I'm not a fan of that one. All right, let's go back. This one's colorful. It's got a lot going on though. So again, Nintendo Switch, you got Paper Mario, you got stacked text here. This isn't good. So Paper Mario, 1000-year door. I mean, granted, 1000-year door is readable here, but it's now crammed in here because you got Paper Mario on top of it. Therefore, you have to like shrink it down. I do like that they did all of the characters that you encounter here. They're kind of all overlapped. I do think he could have done a little bit better with this character here because like only one eye is kind of covered up. But I don't know. This means that you would have to have the case on its side for it to look good. Whereas if you have it standing straight up, it doesn't really look that good. And it's disrupting the Nintendo logo. So I do like the colors on this one. But I think if he had them stacked vertically rather than horizontally, I think it would have been better. But I also don't like how this text here is crammed in like this. So points for the colors, but everything's crammed in, so I'm not too good with it. Paper Mario, 1000-year door. This is kind of basic, kind of quick. It kind of reminds me of the GameCube version because I believe the GameCube version has this kind of color scheme, but it's for the Switch. So I kind of see what he did there. Let's check out this one here. Okay. So you got Paper Mario. Again, text stacked on another. Because you're working with this rectangle, this Nintendo Switch rectangle, it just kind of limits you. So when you break it down to just the icon, it gives you like that little bit more space to push everything back up. But he took the 1000-year door here. I think what he could have done is, like, I like this bottom part here because it looks like it's in 3 dimensions. I think what he could have done though was chop off this section here behind the poster board, the 1,000-year door here. He could have had it where the gray part, it just stops right here on this line, cut that part off, and then cut everything behind here. That way it's just the board that you see. That would have been better. The Mario is cool. It doesn't disrupt the logo, so that's fine. Yeah, this one's all right, but I just don't like the stacked text here. I think he should have had Paper Mario. Like, if he had gotten rid of this Nintendo Switch part and just kept the Joy-Con logo, he could have put Paper Mario and then kept this the way it is, and then this Mario is fine the way it is. It doesn't look like he's holding a mallet, so maybe he could have shrunk it down a little bit, but it's okay. So far, I like this one probably the best. Let's keep going. So this one's good. It uses the red star like fabric design that's on the cover, so that's kind of cool. I like this Paper Mario. It's readable. I don't like this, the 1,000-year door. I just don't like the colors of it. But it is readable. I think you could have probably fit Mario right there if you wanted. But this could have been pushed up a little bit, and then you could have had a lot more space to experiment with like different characters. So you could have put more stuff right there. But this one's good. It's just kind of basic, in my opinion. Let's see. I think we got we got a few more. Okay, let's see this one. Oh no. Did we already look at that one? Yeah, we already looked at that one. Okay. So pretty much same concept, red star background. Paper Mario is readable, looks good. 1,000-year door. I think this is an improvement from the brown. It has like a little bit of the red and a little bit of yellow on the top. That's cool. And then he's got a little Mario sitting there. That's cool. I like that. The logo looks good. It pops really well at the bottom with the red. So I like this. This looks good. I just think, I think it could have, yeah. Yeah, for this design, I think if he had just gotten rid of this Nintendo Switch part, just kept the Joy-Con, push this up, and had a little bit more space to do everything. But yeah, I like this one. It's not bad. Let's check this one out. I think this one is the GameCube. Yeah, this is the GameCube version, but they made it for Nintendo Switch. Very cool. So yeah, he has the GameCube colors. And then, hold on, let's go over. Yeah, GameCube colors, but Nintendo Switch. Okay, that's cool. Yeah. Let's see this one. Yeah, it's kind of basic. I kind of like this one a little bit less because this one's kind of pinkish, whereas the cover is kind of like a deep red. So yeah, I don't really like that one too much. Paper Mario is readable. It's back with the brown again. 1,000-year door. I'm not a fan of that. Let's see. More basic. He did the GameCube colors here. Paper Mario is readable. I mean, I saw what he was trying to do, but I think it's cool that he tried to do the whole GameCube design, but I think he needs to make it for Switch. Make it stand out from that. That's Origami King. That's not the same. I think that might be it. Oh wait, here we got another one. This one's colorful. So it looks like it's from the perspective of the audience, where the audience has these like black dots, kind of like in comic book characters. Again, the outline around Paper Mario is really thick. I don't like the 1,000-year door brown. I do like the colors though throughout. I just think it's I think the text is bad. So let's see. This one here. The logo is way too small. When you zoom out, it's just, there's so much space. I think it needs to be bigger. The 1,000 year, and then door. One thing I remember from, design school is that you never want to have one word on a line by its own. They call it an orphan. I think that's the term. You want to have either 1,000 year or the 1,000 and then year door underneath it, or you can have the 1,000 year door all in one line. But yeah, you don't want to have this one word by itself. It looks awkward. Again, I think this needs to be bigger. I don't know. Not a fan. And then the icon, the characters here are way too big. It just doesn't make sense what's going on here. Yeah, he went way too big on the icons there. And I think that's it. So let me see. If there's anything I can do to improve upon this, let's see. I think there might be... Oh, hold on. Is there any more music that I can do? If Disturbed wrote It Wasn't Me by Shaggy. Let's listen to this one. I haven't heard this one.
If Disturbed wrote It Wasn't Me by Shaggy. Why? Why was this so requested?
Yeah, I think I like this how the way it is. I think I'm gonna keep it.
She was standing there, she never took her eyes off me. How can you give your woman access to your villa? Just passing a witness while you're banging to your pillar. You better watch your back before she turn into a killer. Let's review the situation that you're caught up in her. To be a true player, you have to know how to play. If she's staying 9, you can convince her to stay. Never admit to a word when she say. And then she claim I tell her, baby, no way.
Gotta save it as a PDF here.
She was standing there, she never took her eyes off me. I said that it was not me.
All right, so what I'm doing, I'm basically sending.
If Chevelle wrote "Pumped Up Kicks" by Foster the People,
I'm sending the file to myself so I can save it as an image file, and then I'm going to post it on the Reddit real quick. So just give me 1 second, guys. There's one more song.
If Disturbed wrote "It Wasn't Me" by Shaggy.
Oops.
If Stained wrote "Every Morning" by
Oops, let's go back here. If Deftones wrote wrote The Reason by Hoobastank, I haven't heard that one.
Hoobastank's The Reason in Deftone style. What an odd request. All right.
There's many things I wish I didn't do, but I continue running. I never meant to do those things to you. It's all I have to say before I go, that I just want you to know I found no reason for me to change who I used to be. The reason to start I'm sorry that I hurt you. It's something I must live with every day. And all the pain I put you through, wish I could take it away. Be the one who catches all the tears. I found no reason for me to change who I used to be. A reason to start over.
All right, I am happy with this. It came out pretty well. Oops, let me go back. I went ahead and posted it just now. So now everybody has it if they want to print it out. And then I'll go ahead and send this to my client and he can have his game back, his little case back. And then, well, actually what I got to do, I got to print this up tomorrow. I'll bring it over to FedEx so I can get the good ink, good paper quality. And then I will insert this into the side of this case and I'll send it back to him. And then he'll send me another one. So yeah, it's been a very chill stream, guys. I do appreciate you guys coming out. That's probably all I got for you guys tonight. Like I said, it was just gonna be pretty chill for the most part. But yeah, if you guys will join me next week, I'll hopefully have more stuff to talk about and we can have a good little stream. But yeah, until next time, guys, you guys will subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. You guys take care. This is Camp Hustle 1 out.